I really enjoy going to the swimming pool. When you enter the pool, you enter into almost a different world. It is a matter of translation as well. As a translator, I move from the spheres of Malay to English and vice versa. And in fact, you can really feel the change because when you're in water, you're almost pushed out of your comfort zone. Right? You have to struggle to get breath. You have to push yourself to swim forward. And I'm really enjoying the solitude of going to the swimming pool where there are a few people using it. Pools at large, I think, already interesting. It poses a challenge to the human being because human beings are creatures that are so used to living on land. Within certain conventions, you can still be creative. In fact, sometimes you can only be creative because of rules. This is what I notice while swimming. There are certain things you have to follow, such as how many times you do a certain stroke, how many times you go up for air. There is a structure that you need to follow, but that doesn't mean that you cannot be creative because when done right, then you can do it in a very graceful form.
Okay, of course with the Arts House, because I think this is where I started to get very involved in the cultural scene, in the literary scene, and how it has influenced my writing is because of the exposure I get. So if we look at the Arts House itself, there are so many layers and so much of history to unravel. But one of the things that got us excited was which side do you sit? So do you sit on that side or the opposition side? When we had the students coming in, they were so excited to see, of course, our mentor, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, right? To see his name, like right smack in the middle there, you know, it's like rather surreal. It has always been a reminder to me that you have to go beyond just the facade. The beauty of this facade is meaningless without all the stories that is behind it.
Actually, for everybody, there should be a place where your childhood begins. So for me, it is Margaret Drive. I was born there and stayed there till about 10 years old. My entire childhood is in Margaret Drive. The buildings are not there anymore. There's a flat which I stayed, and next to the flat is actually a shop which our family runs. It is actually a Chinese incense shop. And we sell all the traditional incense, joss stick and so on. Every morning I will go to the shop and play with my friends. The entire memory of childhood is in the flat as well as the shop. I learned my first words there, my first Chinese character, when I'm writing poems, when I'm doing my prose and probably even writing short stories. The backdrop would probably be somewhere there.
These walks remind me constantly that, you know, as much as everything else seems like rigid and cemented and stuff like that, nature always finds a way to come true. That gives me time to actually look at the nature around me and explore how like nature works around urban areas. Yeah, and I think for me, and this is like, I can't help it, right? I'm a poet, so metaphors come to my head. But it constantly like reminds me how sometimes the ideas you knock your head against are restrictive. It's not about being a poet and being published, but rather following your innate sense to create. And that's my inspiration for continuing to write, to find community that can crack through, you know, whatever hardship someone might have in their life and find that moment, that space for them.